Dalvin Cook, and he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question, because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. He'll get it inside the 20.
Touchdown, Vikings!
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time.
The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, next-gen stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one, because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
Back to throw here. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
On 1st and 10, Cousins.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st, as he can only get this to about the 19. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it to 15. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
There he goes, right side. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And Parker, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Ryan Succop for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins.
That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
10-7 our score after run right here on EA Sports.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on first and second down, because that leaves them third and short, third and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. First down, here's the run with Cook.
Taken down at the 47-yard line.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. 3rd and long for Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays, because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. Deontay Hardy back deep.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
As we get closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge, because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On third down, Cousins.
They're going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off, and the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Inside handoff now to Fournette. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's 2nd and 8.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score.
2nd and 6.
Getting the ball is Cook running left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 54 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football.
This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing, because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
In my humble estimation, terrific work there defensively. Running backs trying to get wide, get to the sideline, and they beat him to the spot, forced him out of bounds, pretty close to the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On play action, they'll throw.
They'll swing this out to Fournette. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
That's trying to come back for Suckup. It's not going to get there. No good. Wide to the right.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept you in a lot of games. And now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And leading 10-7, well, they may just want to get this to the locker room.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. First down, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing, Cousins. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw.
Got an open man finding Jefferson.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 40. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A gain of 32 that time.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the third quarter. Another big play right there.
And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Cousins now.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 7-yard line.
In motion, the tight end. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a gain of a yard there. Now will be 3rd down.
And that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
3rd down. Here's a run by Cook.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook
With career touchdown number 60.
And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the 2nd half. But, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
19. 2nd and 11. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Trap 60. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He'll check this one off to Fournette. On the move past the 40. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. From Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. Up the gut, Fournette. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
They created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there. It keeps them advancing the ball.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
18 Rattler.
They'll look to throw here.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down.
18, Pioneer.
They'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Back to throw. Looks for White, but it's intercepted.
It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Cook following the penalty. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. To throw, Cousins. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. "51 yards on the punt there. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
60 Bobcats! Ready?
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get in. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Cousins on first down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the Buccaneers are right back in this football game.
Now with that interception, you feel like we've got a ball game again. Remember, a two-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Pass to 60, pass to 60.
They're going to look to throw. And brought in by Bray. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That third down conversion good for 23.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
The offense on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Keanu Neal.
And the Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start the drive with Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week, as he's got a first down as well. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
Go!
The man in motion left here, Johnson.
Ready.
On second down, here's Fournette. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
79 Broncos. Nineteen tight. 7 Pirates.
They'll set up to throw. This is caught. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. Tyler Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the 4th. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings add on to their lead, and they appear poised to break this long losing streak. Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now following the touchdown, Richter to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is...
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook.
And he edges forward but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They'll roll him out right. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Bring up 48. Hey, no, easy.
Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4. Cousins to throw for it on 4th.
Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get it.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Buccaneers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Fournette once more on 2nd down. And he'll have a 1st down, but a great tackle there keeps him from getting to the boundary.
Now the offense going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow. And for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way.